Hey Scram, how you doing today? So welcome to Beyond Food Market, our journey. So guys, I don't even know what this episode this is, maybe 3, 4. Let's just get into it. So guys, I'm a broke guy, doesn't really know what he's doing. 3 years ago I was smoking meth, looking at porn, smoking a cigarette. What do you think about that? And a couple months after that situation, I left that environment. Because let me give you some background on that. 2014 in February, I moved out and I was homeless for a couple of days, but I moved into an acquaintance's house in the Lakeview neighborhood that I had met from a couple of years before. And so from there, he actually had an idea to create a real estate company, just an all-in-one real estate, valuation, all the way up to management. So we when I got there, we literally started working on his logo. That was the first thing we did. We did a logo and started with the logo, and then started building it out. And he would take time off, and it was like for 3 years. For 3 years, it was 3 years. Like I remember there'd be times we'd be doing coke and just working on the website for like hours, dude. We smoked weed, fucking did all kinds of drugs. In 2017, we even experimented with crystal, with meth. And we were smoking meth for probably 10 times that summer, 2017. And then it just got to a situation where me and him just had a falling out. I don't know if both of us, we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know if we were really ready. Like, we weren't ready to pull the trigger on anything. So maybe it was just fear. I don't know what it was. Fear, self-doubt, whatever. It just didn't happen. And then it just felt like he wanted to move in another direction without me, I guess. And so I was like, I'm just going to leave. And then, fortunately, I just left. We just parted ways. That was it. But, I don't even know why we left, why we didn't go through this. I don't. And who cares? Because that happened so I could be here. So we literally would work, dude. There was one time we worked for like 26 hours straight. It was crazy. But I'm thankful for that. That I'm like, yeah, I've been there. We worked on a website, trying to get it off the ground, marketing. I was doing some marketing. So that kind of helped me a little bit to where I am today. All that experience helped me. So I'm grateful for that. So I left that environment, and then shortly after that, I actually quit my job because I was working a full-time job and helping him out wherever I could. So quit the job, left, and this is like, what the fuck, Jose? What the fuck is wrong with you? That's what I had to say to myself. Like, what is wrong with you? You have a degree, because I was like, you have a degree from computer graphics from DePaul University in computer graphics and animation. You study philosophy. You study psychology. You study physiology. You studied art. You studied computer graphics, animation. You studied different religions, and I'm like, here I am smoking meth and doing this stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with you, dude? What are you doing? Right? So as I put the meth pipe down, I was like, yeah, dude, this is because it was another low in my life. Because in like around 11 years ago, I was like, what was that, 2009? Around 2009. So I graduated in 2004, DePaul University. From 04 to 09, for that 5 years, I gained so much weight, got up to 245 pounds. My life was fucking miserable. That was a low. I had a low around 2009, another low. And I was like, that's when I literally gave everything away that I owned. Like, everything. I didn't want anything. I didn't want anything. I just gave it away. I started listening. I had heard Joel Osteen, and he had mentioned something about a frog in a pond, and he experienced outside the world, and it was more than just the water in his little pond. There was like an ocean. So that kind of spurred a lot, like just listening to that. And then I just started shifting my mindset from 2009. So 2009 up until 2014, so for 5 years, I was kind of like learning to change, and slowly change. And then I started to lose weight because I had to shift my mindset, and I was still eating the garbage. And then I did more research, and then I discovered my food allergies. And 2014, I just wanted to do something. So I had an opportunity because I had a disagreement with my current living situation. So I was homeless for a couple of days, less than a week. And then moved in with a buddy for like a couple of days to figure shit out. And then that's when I met my acquaintance in Lakeview neighborhood, and I moved in there. So then we started working on a company. And at that time, see, in 2000, also in 2012, 13 maybe, I was like, you know, I have an idea for a product, because I had made something while I was helping a lady remodel her bathroom. So I created something, and she was like, Jose, that's a good idea for a product, and I never did anything. And so I was like, all right, let me try and start this. Let me work on this product. So from 2012, I started working on the patent, started working on the prototyping, because I have a degree in animation. I'm like, let me just 3D model that, and then see if we can get this manufactured. So that was my whole thing, and I didn't know anything, so I jumped blindly into that too. So around 2014, I was still working on it, and then the situation changed, and I was like, oh my god. So I submitted the idea to a Menards buyer, and he's like, yeah, send me some pricing information, right? And I didn't, you know, I was like, what? Because I had just showed him my wooden prototype, and so I was like, I got so much to do. And then I moved into his house, and he had a company, a real estate company. So I was like, you know what, let me just, mine kind of just fell on the back burner, because I kind of was like, okay, I don't know what happened. Just fell on the back burner. I filed for a provisional patent on that idea as well. And I did the drawings and everything. And I just put that on the back burner, because I kind of like doubt came into my mind, like, oh, this can't be a real product, etc., etc. So I started working with him, and we were trying to build his company. So for 3 years, we were working on a website, doing media, doing marketing, and we didn't really know anything. I was just researching stuff and Googling everything. That's how we did. But we go, you know, and we got sometimes near the end, near like 2017, we were really pushing hard, real pushing hard. We were, like, I was like, we were ready to go meet some people. That's how close I felt we were. But again, I don't know what happened. We probably weren't ready for that. So after that, I just left that environment. You know, there's a lot of drug use. Lots of drug use. Dude, in 2015, I even tried crack. Yeah, I tried that for about 4 or 5, maybe 6 times. And I don't know. I just wanted to try it. And then, so anyway, so we tried. So we left. I left that environment, moved back home. Then after that, I quit my job because I was working full time. And then that's when I was like, I gathered myself for a month and said, okay, let's refocus. So then I got back to working on then I got into Polsky Center, because I was like, you know what? My brother's like, I told him, I said, I had this idea I was working on back in 2013, 14, and I put it off, and it was 2000. Now it's 2018, January. It's my birthday, 2017, December 30th. So I'm like, man, Javier, I told my brother, I'm like, I think I can make this happen. He's like, Jose, I'm going to invest in you. I'm going to pay for your Polsky Center membership and pay for your bus, pay for everything you need to get going. I said, okay, bet. So I got into Polsky Center January 2018. So 2018, I was like, all right, let's get to it. So they had the prototyping, they had the 3D model, they had 3D. So I was taking all these classes to learn about 3D, to learn about all the laser. I was even using a 4x8 industrial size router cutting table. That was really cool. I always saw on TV. I wanted to learn that. So I was able to learn all that stuff, create a prototype, and then start working on the prototype, because like, product design is different than 3D modeling. Like 3D modeling, you can just like done. But for product modeling, there's tolerances, there's design, there's things, the ways get connected, connection things. There's manufacturing things you have to take into account. If you're going to be making a mold, you don't want to have a lot of extra stuff, because that takes time, and time is one less. So if you're going instead of just going, that's time, that's money, that's a product, that's one item. You can make 2 items instead of 1. So these are all things I had to start accounting for. I was like, holy cow. And while I was really getting into Polsky and meeting all these mentors and like, yeah, cool. I went to the Restandi Center and they're like, and then there's social entrepreneurship. So I just pitched them another idea I had about bringing allergy-friendly, actually it was just bringing just healthy food into food deserts. And it was something I had thought about years ago when I had saw something on 60 Minutes about food deserts, and I thought, that's messed up. I'm like, man. So I was like, well, I wonder if I could fix that. What if I could come up with a solution to that? And that was always in the back of my mind, but nothing came of it. Because it literally started from wanting to have a red box, like a red box, like the DVD. I was like, let me just put those in the corners and people can just come and get it. Now from there, it went to like, well, that's too small. I got to make it bigger. So I was like, okay, like imagine it bigger. How can it be functioning? And then I started doing research, started seeing people vending like this already. And I was like, let me put it in a store environment. And then I started building. And then from that, a big box, then I started doing iterations after iteration. And it slowly grew. It literally was from like the first red box to where we are now is probably 10 iterations. Minimum. Because when I was doing the patent, I probably ran through 5 iterations just on the patent design. Maybe 6. And from working on the patent on this, I was able to do all this research, start to see what's happening, and even start to see like what's happening. Like I feel like everything's gonna be cashless. So I was like, all right, let's go cashless. Let's make it all in one. Let's make it modular. Let's do all this. And that's where we are today. I don't know how we got here from back there, but thanks for following. Good job. And so yeah, that's where we are today, guys. Working on an idea. So from Polsky Center, 2018, and I worked there all the way to November 2018, and then from November 2018 to like January, I was at Operation Hope in Inglewood. It's a 10-week business course, 12-week business course where they talked about business plan, talk about this. So I got to talk about people in the Chicago Department of Housing and Planning, about the land, lots of things like that. So from there, I just started to develop the idea because when I was at Polsky Center, they're like, Jose, you've got to get into the neighborhood, you've got to start networking, you've got to start showing the idea, start getting some feedback. And then I went into Inglewood, and I was like, all right, here you go. I went to right here on 63rd and Halsted. There's an organization there. And I just started taking the class and started building the business plan. And then I was able to start building my pitch deck. And then the idea started really like formulating. And then I got to May. It was April. So it was November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So 6 months. From 6 months from like the Polsky Center to the Coleman Center. So I went to DePaul University, so I went to the Coleman Center of Entrepreneurship. They have a lot of great stuff for alumni, and they had this thing called the Purpose Pitch. It's like 3 years old, where alumni get to pitch a purpose, a business concept for money to further your business concept. So I'm like, okay, I'm about 6 months in, I got an idea, let's go there. So I think I might have told this story on a couple of videos ago, but let's recap really quick. So I'm at the Coleman Center, and they're like, Jose, what's your differentiator? And I was kind of nervous because this is the first time I ever pitched it. I didn't know anything. So once I couldn't answer that, because it was 6 months in to develop this, and I just didn't have a real grasp on it, right? And I just had like my vision, my overall vision, but I didn't know how to say it and display it. So one of the gentlemen just got up and walked out. I was like, wow, okay. So right off the bat, I was like, all right, it's over. The other people just kind of amused me, but we knew what happened. So when I left our place, I was like, okay, Jose, you don't have a differentiator. I did, but I didn't know how to express it, because I was just going to make a vending machine with its own payment center. And from there, that's where it really helped me, because then I developed the patent. So fast forward from May to 1 year to February, March, April, May. So 9 months, I worked on a patent for 9 months. And then I started working on social media, started getting out there, started just going and pushing. And here we are today, May it was when February I finalized my provisional patent, submitted that, and I was like, okay, Jose, now what? Now what? Because I had worked so hard to get to there, and I didn't know. So I've been lost for like, February, March, April, May, June. For 4 months, I literally been lost doing nothing. I don't fucking know. So for this time, I've been listening to mentors on LinkedIn: Dave Meltzer, Gary Vaynerchuk, Goldie Chan, just podcasts, Tim Bellew, all these people with business, and just listen to what they're saying. Because I'm a dumb motherfucker, and I don't know shit. So I had to listen to smart people. That's the big thing I had to do, is remove that ego that I had because of all the insecurities. But that's another story. So let's continue. So just listen to these mentors. I'm like, okay, I started getting a feel for what I need to do. Execution phase. This is considered the execution phase because I've developed the story, I've developed the idea, I've developed the concept, I got the idea, I'm ready to go. Now we've got to execute. As Gary Vaynerchuk says, you got to get out there. You got people got to notice you so you can move forward and do what you got to do. Whatever you want to do, you got people got to notice you first. So they bet. So I started doing social media, and then my old classmate reached out to me, and she's like, Jose, she wanted to help me out, and I was like, bet. And she gave me some great advice for like the content I need to start pushing forward, which is basically trying to find her customer. Who's going to be our client? Like who's our future client? Show them the ease of use. Show them the benefits. And I was like, all right, bet. So that's going to be working on that. And if you've been following me, I'm pretty slow at stuff, but we'll get there. And then she introduced me to one of her friends, Zabar, and he is a software engineer. And I spoke to him the other day, and he's like, Jose, maybe I can show this to some of my engineering friends, and we can probably help you get your minimal viable product, like just like the box, 100% working, just ready to rock and roll. And I'm like, all right, bet. And also, last week I tweeted, I'm like, man, sometimes last week I was like, sometimes I wonder if it's even worth starting this company. And guess who responded? Joel Wardy. These guys started Enjoy Life Products, the free from leader in the free from category. Yeah, him. He's like, Jose, guess what he said? Jose, it's definitely worth it, man. The challenges, I've been in your spot. I was like, what? Dude. Like, that really stoked me up. And then on top of that, he puts us on a list of last week I checked, it was 65 members, called the Food Industry List. How cool is that? How cool is that? So I'm like, I almost feel like now, like I can start seeing maybe some action, some kind of movement, something happening, if you will. The pot stirring or something, the water boiling. I don't know what it is, but that's where we are. So guys, thanks for watching. Let me see what else I got to see here. So you had a content. Oh guys, and also I've got to get more organized. I'm so disorganized. So disorganized. I gotta start taking notes. I got a notepad, so I'm gonna get better at that stuff. I gotta organize my stuff. And yeah, so just feeling a little better. Again, guys, this is just an idea. It's literally an idea that I've been working on for 26 months. Just an idea. Like, I was just like, at the posting, I was like, hey, Mike, I don't know his name, but I was like, hey, I've got an idea. What about this? And I said, la la la. And then it took off. Started meeting mentors, and then and here we are. 26 months later, possibly have somebody help me do the minimal viable product, because once we do that, then I can reach out to a different crowd, I guess. I don't know. Keep on following, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Peace. Love you guys. Bye.